Have you ever gone out in the country on a warm, sunny day and found a stream? It's fun playing in a stream, isn't it? Wading and wiggling your toes in the sand. But have you ever looked closely to see what you can find? There are many wonderful animals living in a stream. If you lie still and watch, you'll see small fish where the water runs deep. You may be surprised to find a garter snake watching you. There are strange moving shadows made by insects that walk on water. Close by, a damselfly suns itself on a rock. Yes, there are wonderful things for you to find if you only look. Let's get down close with this boy and girl and see what we can find. That's a strange-looking thing. Do you suppose it's alive? Lying in the water, it looks like the bottom of the stream. But watch. There, a young caddisfly is hiding inside. If he didn't move, you'd hardly know anything was there. But if you look in at the end, you can see that he lives in a house shaped like a small tunnel. He builds this house out of sand and bark, so fish and other water animals won't eat him. They probably won't even see him. Look at the trouble he's having. Pull, pull, pull. That's a heavy house for a little animal to drag about. It keeps him safe, though, so it must be worth all the trouble. This insect has a cousin that builds a different kind of house. Inside, he can stay hidden from a fish looking for a... There he is now. Sometimes his house is called a log cabin because it's made of pieces of bark or wood. See how tightly it's put together. There are other water animals that carry their houses around with them. Here's one you all know, a turtle. See how he can pull his head and legs in under his shell when he thinks something might hurt him. He doesn't seem to be very afraid of us, though, does he? This kind of turtle is called a snapping turtle because he snaps at things to eat. He won't snap at us, though, because he's still so small. A turtle has no teeth, but the edge of his mouth is sharp, and his jaws are very, very strong. So when he grows up, we'll have to be careful that he doesn't snap at our fingers and really hurt us. Let's turn him over on his back and look at his underside. Whoops, once again. Well, he doesn't seem to like it on his back. If we hold him up, we can see that he has a shell on this side, too. As a matter of fact, the only parts that aren't covered are where his head and tail and legs come out. Even these can't be hurt easily. See how thick the skin is that covers his legs. He doesn't like to be held. Let's put him down and let him go back into the water. Even though you can't see anything at first, something will be hiding in every pool in the stream. Who knows the name of this strange-looking creature? It's a newt. Some people call it a water dog or salamander. Watch how clumsily it walks. That's because it spends much of its life in water. As a matter of fact, the most interesting thing about a newt is that it is partly a water animal and partly a land animal. Here in a pool of water are several of its eggs bunched together. This is the way a newt begins life. Then one day it hatches out into a tiny animal that looks like a baby fish. Here he is resting beside the eggs that still hold some of his brothers and sisters. If you look closely, you can see one of them turn over in its egg. There. Did you see it? A baby newt can breathe underwater as a fish does. He breathes through what we call gills. These gills stand out from his neck like small feathers. Here is a young newt when he has grown almost to the size of your little finger. He has legs and can walk now. He's beginning to look like a grown-up newt, except that he still has his feathery gills. When he finally does grow up, he loses his gills. Now he can live on land or in water. Can you think of any other animal that starts out life in water and then grows legs? Something that hops. Right, a frog. Whoops. Oh, come on now. There. Have you ever tried to catch a frog? Even a baby frog like this one? He certainly can jump. And it wasn't so long ago that he didn't have any legs at all. Of course, you all know what a frog is before he turns into a frog. That's right, a pollywog. Or perhaps you call it a tadpole. Probably some of you have caught pollywogs and watched them grow. For a long while, there isn't any change. They swim about with their long tails and round eyes and round mouths. Then, suddenly, one day you find that they're growing some hind legs, like this pollywog. Soon he will grow front legs, too. Do you see the bump where one of his front legs is going to be? Here he is a day or so later with 4 legs. Like the newt, he can breathe out of water now for the first time. His tail is getting smaller already. Soon it will be gone completely, and then he will be a frog. He certainly can breathe out of water now. Watch his throat go in and out as he takes quick little breaths. And now his long hind legs have grown strong. He always sits on them in position to jump the second he thinks he sees danger coming. Because he's a tree frog, he can climb up the side of the jar and stay there. Not all frogs can do this. The reason he is able to hold on is that he has small places on the end of each toe that stick to the glass. If you've never done it, you should catch some pollywogs and watch them grow into frogs. You can learn many wonderful things about them. Why don't you see how many animals you can find the next time you go out in the country to a stream? You may find all of these and many more. And you'll be surprised at how much fun you'll have. Even more fun than wading and wiggling your toes in the sand.